All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, watching us right now on Facebook and on YouTube. I want to say a wonderful afternoon to you from Kyiv, Ukraine. Well, my name is Anu Ojo, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Ask Dr. Sunday show. Well, as you join us, first I would like to encourage you to please kindly share this video link. If you're watching us on YouTube, you could share this YouTube link on social media platforms. And if you're watching us on Facebook, I think it would be a great idea if you could share this link on your timeline, or you could share it to the groups that you belong to, or you could suggest this video to your friends by sending it into their inboxes. Well, this has been a wonderful month, the month of May. And if you've been with us right from the first day of May till date, you will bear me witness that it has been a very educating time. From the 1st of May, we've had interesting personalities, we've had fantastic people who took a lot of time to study, to do their research on different areas and different aspects of Dr. Sunday's life. But it has been a very educating time personally for me, because it's one thing to just talk about the success and the achievements of an individual and just say, wow, this person is wonderful, this person has done great stuff. But if you've been following the programs right from the first day of May till date, you would notice that it has been an opportunity to learn principles, to learn values, to learn lessons from Dr. Sunday's life as we celebrate his 52nd birthday. And that's how it has been for the past few days, actually from the 1st of May. But this is the Ask Dr. Sunday show. And this month too, we've had special episodes on this show. The first special Ask Dr. Sunday show, I had it with Yuri, and the title of that Ask show, if you missed it, was, is DSA a human being or a spirit? Is DSA a human being or a spirit? So I had my brother Yuri here, Yuri of Smirko, and we tried to give answers to those questions. And last week I had a special Ask show with Mayowa, and we answered the question, why will DSA allow people to worship him for a month? So if you missed these special Ask episodes, I would like to encourage you to go to Dr. Sunday's YouTube. If you search for the playlist titled The Man DSA, you'll be able to see all of the videos we've done right from the 1st of May, and you would also see the special episodes of the Ask show that we've had this month. And this show would not be different from those other episodes, although we'll be answering a different question this time. So I would like to welcome you all. Before we get into the question, I have a guest here definitely, and some of you might have seen the name already. Well, I'm still going to invite him when it's time. All right, so please, as you join us, I would like to give an announcement for the most recent book. If you can see right here, you would see that Dr. Sunday just published a book titled Money, Riches, and Wealth. So you see the book titled Money, Riches, Wealth. Money, Riches, Wealth. And right under it there, you'd see that until you know the difference, you are not free. Until you know the difference, you are not free. This book right now is on the pre-order discounts. So you could get this book as low as $3.99. You know, the question of money is one that has been for ages, and it will continually be. Money, it is something that everyone is looking for, everybody wants to get. Most people want to be rich, and I think many of us want to be wealthy. But what's the difference between money, riches, wealth? Do you know the difference? Have you thought about it before? Well, I think to get answers to this question, this book just published by Dr. Sunday would be a good read for you. Money, riches, wealth. Until you know the difference, you are not free. Free from what? Well, you have to read the book to get all of that. Okay, so I also like to announce that for this month of May, Dr. Sunday is giving his books at a discount rate. So if you want to order for any of Dr. Sunday's books, and I'm talking about getting the soft copy of the book, you could write to DSA's office here at dsasbooks@gmail.com. dsasbooks@gmail.com. Right there, I'm informing the office there about the amount of books you would like to order and everything, and we would get back to you. All right. So even if we don't get back within the month of May, you can be rest assured that you will get a response after your mail has been received. And if you would like to contribute to today's discussion after my deliberation with my co-host today, you could write to Move Agents. That's on Facebook Messenger, Move Agent. Search for it, Move Agent, and write to us that you would like to call in to contribute to today's discussion. So the question we have for today is, what is it like to work with DSA? And just in case you are thinking, where are these questions coming from? Actually, these questions, they were gathered from viewers like you who are not here with Dr. Sunday, who don't have the opportunity that some of us have to be here living in the same house with Dr. Sunday. So we got these questions from people who would like to know some things about DSA, some things about working with him, his lifestyle here. And we gathered all of these questions, and we who are here were trying to give answers to this question. All right. So as you can see, the major question for today is, what is it like working with DSA? But I won't be answering this question alone. I have my brother here. I don't know how to introduce him. He's a black man. Obviously darker than I am. No other person but Bamisaye Victor. Good afternoon, bro.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
I think when you don't want to call me Victor, you can call me Life.
I can call you Life.
Yeah.
Why?
Because life is not fair. All right, so it's a pleasure, guys, being here today. And, as always, we try to do our best to be of service and to fellowship with you and to communicate. And, of course, we always love your feedback because they help us get better. They help us know the direction that, not that we are going, but that we what we are adding every week and what we ought to add the following week. So it helps us know the direction to follow. So thank you for everything and for always joining us. And this is a live program with Ojo. I'm his guest today. He hosts the Ask Dr. Sunday show. So you can really say that I am DSA today. So it's probably going to make the question easier. How is he working with DSA? I'm going to be sitting here, you'll be telling us how it is working with DSA.
No, actually, you're my guest because I host the show, but we're going to be answering the questions together because you're here.
No, when you said I would not be answering the question, I was just looking
alone.
At you. So
I said alone.
Then when I said alone, I said better.
I said alone. All right, so guys, we're ready to get into the questions for today. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. Kindly share if you've not shared this link. Invite your friends and let's dive straight into the questions for today. All right, so let's have the presentation now and let's begin. Okay, so the first question to us is, what is it like working with DSA? What is it like working with DSA?
So I'll let you have the pleasure of answering first.
All right, good. What is it like working with DSA? The first thing I would like to my first approach would be an attempt to go into the mind of the person who asked this question and trying to think, why would the person, or what is the person saying that would make the person ask this question? Or what is in the person's mind while asking this question, what is it like working with DSA? So the first thing that comes to my mind is perhaps the person has taken time to study the work ethics of Dr. Sunday. And if you've been watching Dr. Sunday, and if you just watching him from afar, I'm saying you don't have to even come close to him, just from a distance, because this person is definitely not in Ukraine or in Kyiv here or in Dr. Sunday's house, but this person is somewhere in the world. But just watching Dr. Sunday from a distance, I'm trying to think that the person might be saying, oh, this Dr. Sunday's work ethics is crazy. Is it like workaholic? And you know, it's one thing for Dr. Sunday to be a workaholic, and it's another thing to be for another person to be in that same team with Dr. Sunday. So I'm trying to think, the person wants to ask us that, okay, what is it like now working with a workaholic? What effect does it have in you? How is it like being with him there? And I would, from that premise, I would like to start with this, that yes, you're very correct. If that is your thought, and if that is where you're coming from, that Dr. Sunday is a workaholic. I mean, he wrote a book titled "How to," or why you need to why you must urgently become a workaholic. That's a book. Why you must urgently become a workaholic. Dr. Sunday is a workaholic to the core, and it's a different thing when you're working for Dr. Sunday. Because there are many different people who have some projects who work for him. Maybe they are editing some books, or maybe they are editing videos. So they are working for him, so sort of producing some products. But it's a different thing, because I'm trying to look at your question, because your question is not why is it or what is it like working for DSA. If you asked working for DSA, then I would have given a different answer, because at some point I was working for him because I was not so close with him and living with him. So I was not working with him, but I was working for him, doing one or two products. But your question is, what is it like working with DSA? Yeah, it is. It is a huge opportunity because Dr. Sunday's work ethics is crazy, and if you're working with him, if you are lazy, there are two responses that you would have. It's either that laziness dies, so you change your laziness for hard work, and you try to keep on at least. Definitely you fail sometimes. Sometimes you'll be having meeting with Dr. Sunday and you are tired, you are like almost sleeping, and Dr. Sunday is still as active as ever. But that would, if you come to work with him and you were once a lazy person, but you're interested in working on yourself, yeah, definitely you would get that influence from Dr. Sunday to shift from being a lazy person to becoming a hardworking person. That's the first response. But then the second response is, if you come to work with Dr. Sunday and you're not a hardworking person, or you're a lazy person, it won't take time for you to run away. You run. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, of course.
You would run because you won't be able to cope. You won't be able to cope because it will be so. And the thing there is that it's not like the Sunday is going to be like putting work on your head, though. Just the atmosphere here, working with him, just the atmosphere, even without you doing any task per se, but just the atmosphere of work here, because everybody here is just doing something. There's no let's just come and chill and just play around, and maybe you have a gist made that people are just chilling. No, here everybody is doing something. Like, there's nobody to just be playing around with. So if you're in this atmosphere and you see the work ethics here and you're a lazy person, this place would be very weird for you. you want to go back to where you're coming from, or you want to just leave this area. So that is one point that I would like to address. I still have some other point, but I don't know if you would like to add something or share.
Yeah, I think the question from the mind, looking at what the question is, I don't know who sent it, but the person is asking what is it like working with DSA, and I've seen that you've also tried to work with the adjective that is qualifying. That's working with and not working for. But in any case, anything that joins DSA and anybody together at one point in time that they're trying to both achieve a goal could maybe be classified as working with him. So there could be people who are working with him who are not around him, who are not in the atmosphere. And I think the experiences of those ones too would count if they could give that. So I've been here for I think in 2017. I spent some time here before I moved finally, and I know what that atmosphere is like, and I've also from my base where I live, I also work and I know what that is like. So, but I think in all of those we would maybe have to talk about the atmosphere, number one. Then we may have to talk about again the experience. So the atmosphere, one, the experience, two, then three, the personality. In talking about the personality, we will be talking about him in juxtaposition to you, and I think you've tried to do justice to that.
With atmosphere, that was
even with personality, because you were talking about laziness, and if you are lazy, the type of responses you will get, and you talked about how hardworking DSA is. So I think you've done justice even with that little that you've said, and you still have more points. But in any case, I think what is needed there is my opinion.
Give us your points.
It's my opinion. So, no, I'm just trying to say that you've done well, but my opinion is still needed. I think that's to lay a foundation, of course, when someone has spoken before you. But for me, I see, I've worked with DSA, and I see how crazy his working schedule is. And even many times I'm coming back from school, and we'll come, and what he's doing is making video recording. And after he's done with video recording, most time he's still coming back live.
For the live program.
I remember there was a time, I think that was early 2018, that he was recording close to 10 videos per day.
And that's different from the live.
That's not, that time was coming live 3 times constantly. And that was still different. And this has, it does not even still eat into his study time. It doesn't still eat into his, self-study time. It doesn't eat into his time to have personal connection with people. People still come to have, to see him for certain issues. He still gets to have meetings, still gets to spend time with his family. He's able to create this balance, but of course, the sacrifice still has to be paid with time. Okay, I think the first thing to say here is my own personal experience with that. I tried my best to also be as hardworking as that, and I was working 18 hours a day, considering writing, studying, working for money, and also going to the hospital for studies. And round the clock for me, it was 18 hours every day. So that automatically meant I had probably roughly 6 hours that I wasn't sleeping. And that meant automatically that I had 4 hours to sleep. So I was sleeping 4 hours every day. And that was at most, because I was working with that intensity. I was working with the intensity that I saw. Unfortunately for me, I broke down after 4 months. And it was not until then that I learned to ask questions. So I now asked DSA, I've been working like this, and I broke down. And he said to me, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. So what does that mean? It means in working with DSA, you learn not to be like him, but to be yourself. And what did I get from that, and how did I come to that conclusion? In trying to work with his own timetable, I broke down because he is not me. the things that has brought him up to the point that he's able to do the things he's doing at that intensity and not break down, are not necessarily I don't necessarily have the requisite strength and standards for that, because probably I'm trying to do it acutely, what he has been doing chronically, what he's been doing for long. I'm just trying to get into it at once. So, for instance, with sleep, when I asked the question, he said to me, no, you have to sleep enough to make you as effective as you can be in the day when you are not sleeping. So, for me now, working with him, I've learned that one lesson. That even though he is intense, no matter how much I admire people, I must not just copy straight away what I see as their strength without full recourse to what are my own characteristics and juxtapose that, put that together. Okay, I admire the strength in Anu, but how does it work for me? Not just to just copy what works for Anu and think I can run with that. So for me, yes, working with him has taught me not just what to admire, but how to put that into question of how does this work for me? How does it fit my personality? So it also makes me understand the difference between admiration and responsibility. So for instance, there are character traits that you see in DSA that you like, or that I'll see in you that I like, but working with DSA, he's been able to show me that admiring character traits is not enough, but taking responsibility for developing those character traits also matter. So if you look at this example now, I realize that, okay, this character trait of hard work, working around the clock is good, but in taking responsibility now, he taught me that I have to be responsible for the balance that will make me function at my utmost. So
before you continue your thoughts, as you're speaking, I just think it's good I share my thoughts with your response. Very for the viewers, is that as you're sharing what you're saying, what I also see is that working with DSA is different from just working with like you're working with a boss, where the boss is saying these are my standards and you must work on my standards. But working with DSA gives an opportunity for you to be you and for you to ask questions, because that's exactly, because if there was no atmosphere, or if it wasn't a thing with DSA that he allows people who are with him, who are working in his team, to the freedom to ask questions, because I think it is that freedom to ask questions that gave you the access to what you're sharing right now. Because if it was someone that you could not ask questions, you broke down, but you still have been maybe trying to figure it out.
And you see, what you're saying now is where neurosis comes in, and the depression, the feeling of unfulfillment, that we see glory, and many a times try our best to attain the heights that we've seen people like our mentor get to. But the case with most mentors is that they give a vague analysis of how things are done. So they create a picture of some extraordinary, whereas working with DSA brings things to the level of the ordinary. So the extraordinary that he brings in is the responsibility that you take, your level of cognitive reasoning to relate with things and to bring them to tandem with your own personality. That's where the extraordinary comes in. But with DSA, he's not saying that you have to be special to be able to achieve this, you know. So now I can see, for instance, that when I broke down, that it was normal. I don't know if you understand my point. I was not feeling
it didn't make you feel like, okay,
I was not special. I'm weak.
Cannot come up
or probably I was not doing something. I'm not working hard enough, or maybe you are lazy. No, you have to. No. But he broke it down that this is human. Without your body being in optimum condition, you will not function to the best. So you have to give to the body what it requires, so that it can go where you want to go. However, maybe with some other people, you would have had this feeling of no. I
can't afford to even share it with him.
Of course, because you do not want to feel that that feeling of being low or not up to the task or not being good enough. Yes. Yeah. But with DSA, the working with him part of it is not just in getting the result I want to get, but in understanding the human process that comes with that. That heights are attained by men. Mountains are surmounted by men. Scales are brought down by men. Records are set by men. And these men have nothing beyond the responsibility that they took, the understanding how things work for them. For instance, if I were to climb Everest, I have to understand the proper conditionings that it takes to climb Everest. That may be different from that which I will need to climb Kilimanjaro. But imagine someone who surmounted Everest coming to Kilimanjaro and giving you the status of Everest, that this is what you must do, this is what you must do. But no, that's not exactly what it is. This is what can be done, but you have to take that now and personalize it. So, okay, for instance, I am taller than you, you are shorter than me. So, okay, if it will take you two steps to get there because you have long legs, it may take me 4. So why should I be imposing 2 on you? So working with DSA makes you realize that yes, it took me 2 steps because I have longer feet. But if it takes you 4, you are a success. So you must understand how things work for you and be in your optimal state. So for me, that training, and that exactly is what training is one of the major perks of working with DSA. Because you get to see the humanity in greatness. And this is not to, I'm not washing him, I'm not trying to praise him beyond what he deserves, but that's exactly what it is, to see the humanity and the possibility of greatness and in its every step. For instance, he's working with the Nigerian project, and he calls you, Anu, come, Victor, come and join this meeting. And you are there, sitting there, and you are seeing how every step is being done.
That point that you're making right now, it's good that you don't just say it in passing. Why? Because it's a major thing I was going to also add. In that, with working with Dr. Sunday, he works with his team as like he's a team member. Like it's like everybody's a team player. Dr. Sunday doesn't work like I'm the boss and I have all of the ideas and I know better than you all. So your idea and your contribution doesn't mean anything. Never. As a matter of fact, for the past few days, we've been having series of meetings. Maybe obviously people would not know. But with those meetings that we've been having, we've been discussing about solving the national problems of Nigeria. National. So this is not just some basic problems. But this is how Dr. Sunday works. He comes, he invites everybody to the table, and then he presents the topic of the discussion, and everybody, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of the level of your knowledge or what you know or anything, there's no bias of any sort. He invites everybody who is available to the table for discussion, and he says, your opinion matters. What do you think? And if you are seated on the table with him and you're the person who is mute, thinking that I don't have anything to offer, Dr. Sunday would make sure that it makes you feel like you have something to offer. So he would call you by your name and say, but you've not said anything. I remember there are many cases we're having a discussion on the table, and then there's somebody who is just at the corner thinking, what can I say about national problems? I don't have anything to add. And then somebody will say, let's say the person's name is David. David, you've not said anything since morning. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then the person now says, this is what I think, this is what I think. And then somebody would notice that person is feeling some sort of insecure, but after the person gives a contribution, even if the contribution is not grand, like $1 million contribution, the consultant will make sure that person feels like, you said something meaningful. So no matter, that's something interesting about Dr. Sunday, to working with him, that no matter what you say, or no matter your opinion or your contribution, it never makes it look like your opinion is useless or what you say doesn't make sense. And that's something that I really found difficult when I started working with him, because I know I don't know so much and I don't know as much as he knows.
He does, yeah.
But if we are having a discussion and somebody gives a contribution that I know this contribution is totally off point, even me, I feel it, that what is the sense in what the person is saying? And I'm just there, just looking at the person that, how dull can somebody be? You know, and then you look at Dr. Sunday looking at this person. You see, we're talking about working with DSA. Looking at the person with very close attention, paying details to every word the person is saying, and he would find treasure in that person's contribution. And now say, wow, look at what you said. This is the sense. Oh, this is what you said. And make the person's contribution so grand. And I'm there sitting like, look at me thinking the person is dull. And even casting aspersion on this person out. Who is this person?
Not knowing you are the one who is
Not knowing I'm the one that is dull. That I'm the one that is really dull because I can't find treasure in the word the person is saying. So that's one of the, that's one of the many things that I see with working with Dr. Sunday.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to add about working with Dr. Sunday is that, you know, working with him is an opportunity to transform your life. There's literally nothing that you do with him that, for me, what I feel is 80% of the benefits of working with him is for you that are working with him. Even not 90. And 10% is for him. There is nothing, I've sat down to process this thing. There is not one thing I've done with DSA. Either it gives me an assignment to do, either I'm working on one project or the other. There is none that I discovered that this thing I did, it transformed my life. For example, I had never thought that I would be able to write a book or to be an author or to do anything that has to do with writing. I never thought it possible. But guess what? I became an editor of the books. And right now, I'm even teaching people how to write books. Yes, it's Dr. Sunday's books that was edited, but now I'm able to write books, and I can even coach and mentor people in writing books. So what's the percentage of the benefits? It's like 80 or 90-10 to Dr. Sunday. And I can keep on listing different things opportunities that Dr. Sunday gives to you that, oh, there's this opportunity, there's this project, or let's even talk about hosting now, Baba. We are trained medical doctors right now doing our specialty in psychiatry. So what does hosting have to do with what we're doing? But Dr. Sunday gave us the opportunity to come, to work with him, to be a host. And I get people talking to me and they're saying, you're already like journalist, or you're already, and I'm like, no, I didn't learn this. I think there was no school that taught me how to host a program or how to do this. It was just because I had the opportunity to work with DSA, and that opportunity brought out gold in me that I never knew was there. It brought out the treasure with me. So back to the question, what is it like working with DSA? It is like you are going into a refinery. That's how I feel. It's like you are a gold ore, and you don't even know that you're good. No, you know how the ore is dirty, smell, ugly. No, nothing worthwhile about it. But the opportunity to work with him is like you get yourself into a refinery, and then you just begin to see that, wow, I could do this. Wow, I could do that. Wow, this is me. That process of transformation that you get, for me, I can't even trade it for anything, because what I'm gaining working with Dr. Sunday within just the 1 year that I've been close to him is nothing compared to what I've gained in all my educational career. So,
if anyone would really want to quantify that, all you need to do is imagine working with DSA is like moving into a house.
Yeah.
And at the door is, you are not yet working with him, but you just come across him. Now, just and for those who are watching who may remember, and for those who have not been here then, but if you go back to watch many of the programs he's done from 2017, 2018, just go and watch how many people that they just called in on the show to give a contribution. And DSA will say, this thing you are saying, it's enough for you to go and start a show, go and start Facebook show. And many of them are Facebook stars now. Of course, many of them are using that platform to do what they know is best for them now. But at the end of the day, just an encounter on the basis of contribution, and is able to see the gold in such people just giving contribution. Now imagine what it is when probably you enter that house, and then you are able to see, you are able to come closer, and he is able to see you on a more personal note. Imagine how many more things he's been able to point out. Now, with regarding to that, I have testimonies that I won't. It's not yet ripe to share to share that testimony. But of course, by the time I will share it will be very clear. Many perks of working with DSA, but not to get too personal on that note. I want to say on a note of principle that, just like you said, working with DSA helps you to reveal what you have in you. So, like you were saying earlier, that most of the, on a percentage basis, if you are doing something for him, it's about just, what he's getting from is about just 10%. Because why that 10%? And that 10% on the basis of it saving him time. Outside saving him time, I think basically you are the one who is really benefiting from the others. I'll give you an example. I was working on a book titled Who Will Attend Your Funeral? As I was working here today again, because I'm somewhat an existentialist now. I live my life on the basis of the mortality of life, the brevity of life, and how much one has to achieve. What if I die today? And all of those are thoughts that consume me. But what better that? Do you know what it is?
From the book you work.
It's not the book I bought to read. But the book it's not a program I went to. It's a book that was given to me to translate. And that book was Who Will Attend Your Funeral? And just reading that book, something that has been on my mind that I would have postponed till I was very comfortable. I started it that summer. And that's what is known as Project 30 Before 30 now. And by now I've registered the Bamisaye Victor Foundation. Now, so many things will come from that, but that first step, I was pushed to it because I was working with DSA. And just that product and my ability to access it and to digest it while working with it brought out something that was in me. It was not, I didn't have a conversation with him on that basis. It's not like I spoke with him to say, okay, this is what I want to do. But that's just on the passive side of working with him. But if I should go again to the active side of working with him, then you would learn the personal trait of attention to details. Attention to details. There is no way. It's impossible for you to, I don't know how you can work with DSA, even if you do not have that character trait. But just seeing it and you are suffering from it. Suffering from that he has it. The fact that he has it. Somehow you will develop it. Okay, what do I mean? Someone may be asking, what does it mean to suffer from it? Okay, you are done with a whole book. Maybe it's not like, I know you are done editing a whole book. And then your mind, you are done.
You have finished it.
You now went to read it to DSA. You read chapter 1, good. Chapter 2, good. Chapter 3, the man is already like this. You think he's sleeping, then you read 2 lines, then he kept quiet. He allows you to read the 3rd line, say, no. You see from 5 lines ago, and he will tell you what you said from those 5 lines. You are just reading fast. Let's just go through the motion. Then, just because of that, you are not going to get to chapter 4. Because the fact that you've made that mistake in chapter 3 shows the basis upon which you are building for other chapters. Then, for him, he says that the first sentence, 5 words he hears from you, gives him it allows him know if he has to continue listening or if he just has to suffer listening, or even if he's not going to listen at all. So just on that part, that attention to details now makes you suffer the part that you have to go back and start working on the whole thought process again. Of course, it will tell you where it is, what the problem is, and of course, if you are truthful to yourself, you are able to reason with what he's saying that it is true. So it pays so much that attention to details. Number 2, you are reading for him. This one is not even a mistake per se. It's just, okay, it's not a whole idea mistake. It's just a whole sentence mistake. And he's multitasking. You already think you can escape with that, what's it called? That grammatical error. And you just want to read it fast, it will bring you back. So there's no way you are going to do that. You are always going to find that there. Okay, now for me, how did that work with me? When we started translating...
Well, before I don't know, you want to share your personal testimony, right?
How that worked with me, but it's okay, we could skip it.
There's something to before you share your personal testimony, I want to give an announcement.
Okay, please.
Yeah. So our viewers online, we were still on one subject, and the subject that we've been answering so far is, what is it like working with DSA? Working with DSA. And myself and Victor here, we've been trying to like create a picture in your mind, because you're not here with us. So what is it like to be in that atmosphere working with Dr. Sunday? Who is Dr. Sunday as a team player? How does it work? How does it, all of those in-betweens that you might not have the opportunity to get because you're not in close proximity, we are trying to give answers to them. But if you would like to contribute your thoughts, perhaps you also have an experience working with Dr. Sunday and you would like to share your own experience, I would like to give an opportunity for you to call into the studio. But to do that, you would have to go to Move Agents. That is on Facebook Messenger. You search for Move Agents, and then you write us there that you would like to contribute to today's discussion. And we would call you when it is time. We will call you. And also, the latest book released by Dr. Sunday, Money Riches Wealth. Money riches wealth. Well, what is the difference between these three words? Money, riches, and wealth. Are they different? Is there any mystery behind these three words? But look at what Dr. Sunday said there. He said, until you know the difference. So apparently there is or there are some differences between these three words, but then it gives a clause there. It says, until you know the differences between these three words, you are not free. So perhaps I'm in bondage right now because I don't know the difference. Perhaps you are in bondage because you know the difference. But to get the freedom, the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So there are truths in this book titled Money, Riches, and Wealth. So for you to get this book, you can order for the book right now. Pre-order for it at $3.99, because after the pre-order week, the price would increase. So get it and do yourself a good favor by getting it. All right, so I guess that's for that. We still have some other questions. Should we proceed to the next question?
Okay, we can proceed to the next question.
All right, so I think on that subject of what is it like to work with DSA, we can use the whole program
to talk about that.
to talk about it. That's just the truth, because Victor was talking about attention to detail. That's just one quality. You won't talk about other qualities that you get.
Yeah.
Working with DSA, it's a lot.
But just to wrap it up, working with DSA is hardly about him as much as it's about you. Yeah. So it helps you to build your personality. It helps you to understand the simplicity of greatness, and that great things are done by extraordinary things are done by ordinary people who understand some even ordinary principles and the extraordinary perseverance to go through them. So it also helps you to pay attention, because they say we always tell you that life is about 90% details. And 10% wisdom.
Yeah.
And you are wondering what does that mean. But of course, working with him, you are able to see it. So it's not like he's just saying it.
Okay.
And so it just helps you. So it's more about you, and possibly people who see me and probably see Anuna probably look back at 3 years ago and see the difference. Then you may be able to see in picture the difference that working with DSA makes. And this is not, it's not human worship. And I'm just saying this as a caveat to many people who may be waiting for that pit to dig. This is not human worship. This is saying things for what it is. If you make the same impact in my life, I'm sure you would appreciate that I'm able to say it as it is. So that is what it is. It's saying it as it is. So, but let's move to the next question, not to flog a dead horse.
All right. So let's move to the next question. Okay, now this person is asking Victor. He's saying, how can I work with Dr. Sunday Adilaja as an individual struggling with absent-mindedness and daydreaming? Wow. How can I work with Dr. Sunday Adilaja as an individual? It's like the person's asking my question, the question I had to when I wanted to come to close to Dr. Sunday. So this person is saying he has a struggle, or she has a struggle with absent-mindedness and daydreaming. So how can I work with Dr. Sunday? Do you want to, or I should start?
Well, I think the working with DSA is not for some certain kind of people who have fixed everything. No. Even DSA himself, we always tell you, he's not fallible. Even himself is still working on himself every day. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure DSA will look back at 2 years ago. He knows he is a better man than he was 2 years ago. Yeah. So it means that whatever state you are to now, it's not like you are too bad to work with DSA. The difference, however, is that there's a difference between your state and your readiness for growth.
True.
So that you are in this state does not disqualify you from working with DSA or any great person. Yeah. But what is your eagerness, your willingness to want to attain growth? Yeah. And if the willingness is there, in fact, you would have started that process even before you meet DSA. You have a proposition to work with him or that opportunity to do so. And what would that mean? It will mean since you've identified the problem, you have to start working on solving it for yourself, not for the purpose of working with the DSA. And why is this? Because opportunity always meets preparedness. Yeah. So if you are in the business of trying to solve that question, then DSA has written some books about it. Yeah, for instance, how to be in the here and now. That's a very massive book right there that DSA has written that could help you deal with this. It will help you understand the power of subconsciousness, the power of active consciousness, and how to engage it. So basically, to wrap up and let Anu give what he has to say, that number one, it's not about working with DSA is never about your state. What you are right now is about your attitude, your mental attitude towards growth. So it means that what you are now, even if you meet DSA, you can start getting better. It's just about, are you willing to go through the process? Because many times we have the desire, but we don't take the responsibility. Mm-hmm. How many people love to be called father? They like the title of daddy, but would never take the responsibility of a father. How many people would like to get a puppy, but we do not like the responsibility of taking it for a walk? Mm-hmm. So many other people could have the desire to want to work with DSA or just any other person, but not the responsibility to go through the process of what it takes to be able to cope with that. So for me, I think it's not much about what you are struggling with now. It's much about what is your attitude towards the desire and willingness to grow. And if that is there, I think you will not have any problem.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that point is like hitting it on the head. The willingness to work on yourself, and I definitely agree with you. Just to add my little contribution to this question, I don't know who asked this question exactly or where the person is coming from, but just from me to you, I just want to speak to you, and maybe someone out there who is also having a struggle with absent-mindedness and daydreaming. Trust me, you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this struggle, because right, even I myself now, I'm still in the struggle. I'm still in the process of working on myself, and yeah, daydreaming, being absent-minded, not being in the here and now. It is a constant daily struggle. But the thing I really want to admire about you who ask this question is your choice of word, for the word struggle, because it's one thing for you to say, it's one thing for you not to even recognize the fact that you have a problem with absent-mindedness and you are daydreaming. It's one thing, and if you were in that position where you didn't even recognize it as a problem, then that is the real problem. But the good part is that you recognize that daydreaming and being absent-minded is a problem, but you didn't just stop at recognizing it, but you went further to working on yourself, that you use the word struggle. So the word struggle for me, because I'm also in that struggle, is that you're already making some sort of effort. It's a struggle that, yes, I want to overcome this. And I want to say that, yeah, keep working on yourself. It's not going to take a day to overcome it. I'm still working on it. So just keep the struggle. As what Victor said, is that willingness, that willingness to keep going, even though sometimes you fall, sometimes you don't, you miss out on some things, but keep working on yourself, keep struggling, and you definitely gain victory in it. And like Victor said, Dr. Sunday has a book titled How to Be in the Here and Now. I would also recommend that book to you, to get that book on how to be in the here and now. Okay, so now your question is, how can I work with Dr. Sunday, right? How can I work with Dr. Sunday? See, I am in the struggle and I have the opportunity to work with Dr. Sunday. So how can you work with him? It is just by simply presenting yourself. Be available. Yeah, be available. Recognize the fact you've recognized the fact that you have the challenge. Okay, but be available. Put yourself in that position, irrespective of how you can do it. Just put yourself in that position where you can be available to Dr. Sunday. Okay, what service can you offer? Yeah, I can offer so service. All right, then avail yourself to it and be open. One of the things I've noticed with Dr. Sunday is that he sees a lot of mistakes. Like he sees, like one time I was asking him that, how do you cope with us? Because I know how many times I fail in some things that he tells me to do. And I also see other people who are working here who we all fail at different spots. But Dr. Sunday is so patient, he's just cool and calm, work with everybody. So I was asking him that, how do you do it with us? And he said, hey, see, I understand there is a process, all right? And I know that you guys are on that process of working on yourself. So if I see that you're ready to learn, I'm ready to give. So for you, if you are asking the question, how can I work with Dr. Sunday? It's just simple. Avail yourself in whatever way possible. What service can you offer? Write him. What can I do? How can I offer this service to you? Work for free. Do something. Just be in that environment as you can. And you don't have to be here physically. It can be, for example, Dr. Sunday, he talks about looking for people who can edit books. If you can edit, if you're a writer, avail yourself. Write him. Write to pastor@godembassy.com and say, hello, sir, I would like to work on this project for you. Dr. Sunday is asking for people who can edit videos because he has a lot of videos that we need people who can edit them. If you can edit videos, write to pastor@godembassy I have this skill, I can edit videos. Write him. Avail yourself for service. Also, Dr. Sunday is looking for people who can design PowerPoint presentation. Are you listening to us today and you have the skill, you can do something with PowerPoint presentation? Why not avail yourself? Just be available. Write him. Say, Pastor, I would like to do so, and so. And in that process of working with him, he's going to accept you with his arms wide open. And in that process comes your transformation. So it's fine if you're struggling with absent-mindedness, daydreaming, not being in the here and now. Trust me, I'm your brother in this journey, and I'm still struggling with it yet. But I'm availing myself to serve. And in that process of service, and like Victor said, that readiness to grow, I'm seeing the transformation gradually in my life, and you can also see that transformation. So that's what I have to say about that question.
Yeah, I think we can now move to the
next. Let's go to the next question. If you want to call in, please don't forget that you can call in by writing to Facebook Messenger, Move Agent. All right. So let's go to the next question. Let's see if we can. Okay. So this question is, how can I get Dr. Sunday Adelaja's attention in the midst of his serious work engagement? How can I get Dr. Sunday's attention? What do you think this person is coming from? What do you get from the person's question? Or how do you understand the question?
Well, on the surface, I think the person wants to reach out to DSA.
Okay.
And possibly wants to probably say hello or say hi or have some discussion with him or raise some issues.
Okay.
But in any case, whatever it is you want to do, I think the first thing to do is to write him. And of course, writing him would show what you have to say, and would already reveal to him if not that if he wants to respond, of course he will respond, but how if he wants to continue that conversation. Because one of the other things I've learned in life is that I'm not speaking for DSA, I'm speaking for myself. Is that sometimes we feel entitled to people's time, and without necessarily considering the value of what we bring to the table. For instance, there are certain conversations people want to have with you that are not necessarily for you. I'm just saying that on a personal or not for DSA. But again, if I was this person and I want to reach out to DSA right now, I'm going to write down the things I want from him, and I'm going to just send it to him either as a mail or on his Facebook, and I'm sure DSA would respond. But sometimes
tell them the mail. You know,
pastor at godembassy.com.org. Pastor at godembassy.org, or you could just write him on his Facebook, and he will give you further direction.
His Facebook name is Sunday Adelaja. That is the private page, not the public. But if you write to public page, that's not going to him directly. But his private page, Facebook Messenger, Sunday Adelaja.
So, but that's going to reach him, and he can now give you further instructions. But sometimes, and I'm not talking about this person who wrote, I'm just talking generally. Sometimes people will not want to write; they want to call. But no one will give you. I don't think you should expect DSA to commit, for instance, to receiving a call from you just because you want that. You should be able to write what you want at first. But because sometimes people who want to manipulate, who they don't want to write out what they want to say because they know that their manipulation could easily be detected. So they will always want to insist on calling. I'm not saying that for this person, but I'm just saying on the face of value, that one should be prepared to write out the things he wants from the person whose attention he or she wants. So write it, spell it out, so the person can read and say, okay, this is what you want. Okay, this is what time, on the scale of preference. Not that you are not valuable, no, that's not what it means. It just means that, as you have rightly said, in the midst of a lot of serious work engagement, how much time or what priority can it give to you? Because there are some mail you see now, no matter what you're doing, you suspend. There are some other messages you read, you know, okay, I can do that after I record this video. I can do that after I do this. But if you don't spell it out and you are just saying, hello, can I talk to you? That necessarily does not give clarity to what you want and the priority the person who is reading it can put to it. So in dealing with DSA or writing people like DSA, you also have to look at putting yourself in their shoes and imagine the times you were busy and how could you respond to things. Because at the end of the day, we say great things. Oh, DSA responds to message. He answers himself. I mean, these things are beautiful, but again, we must not forget it's not a machine that responds automatically. He also has to process information, so you have to also be able to be clear and concise when you are writing him, so that he, as human as he used to, can process what you are reading and be able to grade that on the level of priority that you want him to give to you. So sometimes putting ourselves in other people's shoes can help us know just how to relate with them. So how can you get DSA's attention in the midst of a serious work? Write him, number one. Number two, be concise, direct as to what you want. And then you will be able to get exactly the priority that you have written on ground. So for me, I think that's it. So good. I'll just give my addition. While we prepare the callers to, how can I get the person's attention? It depends, because you came from the angle of getting attention, either to wanting to call or to discuss something. That is one front, and I think you've addressed that very well. Speaking that people can write him personally, or they can send him a mail. But then I want to come from another angle though, and I want to use a lady on this platform as an example, and that is Elizabeth Aino. Elizabeth Aino caught Dr. Sunday's attention in the midst of his serious work engagement, and he reached out to her to have her on the show. I don't know if you know about that, but it's interesting, and I want to just say that just from another angle. How can you get the person's attention? Now, this is not for people who just want to speak to him about issues, but this is for people that want to get his attention. You know, set yourself on fire. Do something massive. Do something that would make you known. Let me talk about Elizabeth Aino. Elizabeth Aino, how did Dr. Sunday discover her? It was from a video she did online. I think it was on YouTube or on Facebook. So Dr. Sunday was just doing his normal Facebook, scrolling, reading messages, and he listened to Elizabeth speak. And he saw the fire in her. He saw that, just like that raw fire. He saw fire. It's just like, if you want to create attention in a market space, just burn fire there, create fire. Everybody will gather around the fire. So what did Elizabeth Aino do? She went online. She did a video recording, and she didn't know Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sunday didn't even know her from anywhere. But from that video, Dr. Sunday came across a video and had her speaking, and he wrote to her. This one is different from you writing him. He wrote to Elizabeth and said, hey, I need you. Please, I want to give you my platform. I want you to come on the show for you to speak. So, do you want to get Dr. Sunday's attention? I'm coming from another aspect now. All of the product that Dr. Sunday has given, if you can devote these products, discover yourself, work hard on yourself, and set yourself on fire, fulfilling your calling, fulfilling your goal. You don't have to even mention Dr. Sunday's name. There's no how. One way or the other, he will find you. One way you will notice that. And there are many people like that, not just Elizabeth. There are many people who Dr. Sunday has sent invitation to. Maybe you are there, you're listening to me too. And how you got into Dr. Sunday's platform is that you were doing your own thing. You were making your own impact or doing your thing somewhere. And Dr. Sunday saw what you were doing and he said, hey, I want to connect with you. Hey, I want to be your friend. Hey, I would like to have you on the show. I would like to broadcast you to the world. So, do you want to get Dr. Sunday's attention in the midst of all of his serious work engagements? Just
Work hard on yourself. All of his teachings, his books he has released, go into solitude. Don't make so much noise. Go there. Work hard on yourself. Develop yourself. Do all that you can with his products. And then set yourself on fire, fulfilling your calling. Set yourself on fire, fulfilling your purpose. Trust me. You won't be the one begging for his attention. You will be the one coming to say, hey, I see what you are. Please, I need you in this Nigerian team. I need you to do something. So that is just on the other hand. If you're not writing to say that I would like to discuss on certain issues, but this is just another aspect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If that is.
Yeah. So he will see you himself, and of course, will most probably reach out to you.
Good. Do we have callers, please? If we have callers, we can receive our callers right now because we've already passed the 1 hour mark. So if you're there and you would like to call into the studio, like I announced, you can do that. We'd like to hear from you. You know, I think your contribution will be great to hear. So if you're there and you would like to contribute to today's discussion, you can by just going to Facebook Messenger. You search for Move Agents on Facebook Messenger, and write to us. We started with the subject of what is it like working with DSA. And maybe you're there, you've worked with DSA, doing 1 or 2 projects with him, and you had your experience and you like to share your experience with the world. Well, you have the opportunity to do that. Please kindly write to us if you would like to share. And I would also like to announce that this book here is the latest book, Money, Riches, and Wealth. If you would like to order for the book right now, it's on pre-order. For as low as $3.99, you could order for it on Amazon. So go to Amazon and you can order for this book. And all of Dr. Sunday's books are on a promo discount for the month of May. So if you would like to order for the books, you could write to DSA's office at dsasbooks@gmail.com, dsasbooks@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you. All right, so maybe we could try to answer one more question, and if we have a caller, we'll get a caller. If not, we will call it a day. Let's see. I think we should have one more question there. Let's have one more question if there is. Okay, so let's see. There is one more. Okay. Okay. So this question is, why don't we see Pastor Bosse on DSA shows? How involved is she in DSA's movement in Nigeria? Okay. Why don't we see Pastor Bosse DSA shows? Interesting question. I live here and I can count the amount of times I see Pastor Bosse. Okay, let me take this question very serious. Okay, so this person is really interested in why is Pastor Bosse not on Dr. Sunday's shows, and you are also interested in how involved is she to DSA's movement in Nigeria. Okay, first I think Pastor Bosse, there's a show that she had with Mayowa and Mayowa and Julie, yes. And I think they asked her this question. So if you want to hear from the horse's mouth, I would like to direct you to that video. I think the video is maybe a special time or special episode with Pastor Bosse. So you see the interview with Mayowa and Julie there, and you would hear her give our own thoughts from our own words about the question. All right. Mm-hmm. So, and I think she really answered the question on especially the DSA's movements to Nigeria. But let me just speak on the first part. Why don't we see Pastor Bosse on DSA shows? You know, I started by saying that I live in this house and I can count the amount of times I've seen the Pastor Bosse in this house, that I've seen her face to face. Why? It's because Pastor Bosse has a life and Pastor Sunday has his own life. I don't know how to say that would ring a bell in your mind or that you can understand, but that's just how it is. Pastor Bosse is doing her thing. She is fulfilling her calling. She is doing her thing. and Pastor Sunday is doing his thing. You know, as a matter of fact, like I said, I live here in the same house, you know, and I can count the number of times I've seen her like face to face. Why? Because you hardly see Pastor Bosse around.
The personality.
Yeah, she's a personality all by herself. You know, Dr. Sunday talks about being a personality. Trust me, Pastor Bosse, she is a personality all by herself. She's doing her own thing. She's fulfilling her own calling in her own way. She's just focused on her stuff. So it's like DSA has discovered his own calling, his own purpose, and he is heads on, focused on his own calling. Pastor Bosse, by herself too, if you meet her, have a discussion with her, she's also focused on her own calling. So she's doing her thing. She is not, this Pastor Sunday that is having live shows. It is not her own live show. So she does not have any business coming to do live shows here, only if there is an invitation to her. And if you missed,
and the topic concerns
her. And just for anyone who missed our own episode, actually, Pastor Bosse, she spoke on this DSA's 52nd celebration on the subject of DSA as a family man. So if you want to hear Pastor Bosse, I think you can watch that video, and you can see how also comes. So she only comes when it is needed. She only comes when it is necessary. She only comes when she's invited. She only comes where whatsoever she's coming to do is in line with our own purpose and our own calling. Yeah, trust me, you have to come and see how Pastor Bosse and Pastor Sunday lives here. It will blow your mind. You would think, how do they do it? Because you would expect, and maybe this person is asking from a premise that, oh, you know how the African
pastor and pastor Mrs.
Yeah, so the pastor and pastor Mrs. So you always see pastor Mrs. And so the woman too, she does not have her own, like she does not have her own calling, or she does not have her own purpose, and she's always just by the side of the pastor, pastor Mrs. So and she's just like subservient to the man of God. Yes, he's the man. I'm just there to just support, to just help him. I'm just there. Nope. With Pastor Bosse and with Pastor Sunday, it is entirely different. Pastor Sunday is a personality. He's the energetic bull, everything. Just movement. That's Pastor Sunday, and he's on Facebook. He's challenging this person, doing that, everything. That is his own calling, everything. That's Pastor Bosse. That's Pastor Sunday. But when you listen to Pastor Bosse, it's just like the cool, calm presence of an angel. And then she's not the energetic like us. She's cool, she's talking, she's doing her thing, fulfilling her calling, fulfilling her purpose. So that's it. That's the reason why you would not see Pastor Bosse constantly on DSA shows. She is fulfilling her own purpose in her sphere of influence, while Dr. Sunday is doing his own thing. Victor, I don't know if you have any addition.
And the only addition is that life does not revolve around Facebook. Every time there's life moving outside Facebook. And the fact that DSA comes here that's why we laugh at people who take it for granted. He has this life outside Facebook, and probably it's not Pastor Bosse's thing to be on social media, but that doesn't mean that this is where all life ends. So she's busy with some real work in the outside world there, and it's DSA's decision. Before some years ago, you were not seeing DSA online. Doesn't mean it was not doing anything. So I think the underlying factor is, number one, she is a personality. She is not absorbed by the identity of her husband. She has a work cut out for her. She's doing that, and that doesn't cross her that doesn't cut across the pages of social media. And she's just doing her stuff, and that's exactly what it is. So if you want to see her,
actually, you can go to her page. She doesn't do live videos, but she actually does a lot of posting. Interesting articles on her.
So if you want to see her, you have to go and engage the things that the platforms that she has and she uses. So, and but to answer your questions, really, is to go to YouTube and check the video interview that was conducted for her or on her, and she answered those questions in her own words, and I think that's good enough. And if you want the one for most recently, then you could check this series that's going on for DSA's birthday, and then you say DSA as a family man, then you'll be able to hear from her point of view. And again, if you have been watching HMTs, you see that she's always there for HMT, always teaching. So I think that's enough for her, and she's doing what she feels is the best for her. And of course, I think it's a teachable moment for those of us who are men and for those of us who are women. For those of us who are men, no need to clip your woman under your wings. For those of us who are women and not yet married, then we realize that we have to build a personal brand for ourselves that will not wait, and our identity should not be usurped by our husband. So for instance, now you are asking Pastor Bosse, you are not asking DSA's wives. Where is DSA? Why is DSA's wife? You are able to call Pastor Bosse because she is an identity on her own. So, but what we find in society is that from the moment the girl has a boyfriend, nobody calls her by her name again. Then they begin to say, have you seen Anu's girlfriend?
Or Victor's girlfriend.
Then when she gets married, they say, oh, that's Mrs. Ojo or Anu's wife. They totally forget she has a name or every other thing. But of course, that's not what we learn. That's not what we see in this place. And we see the beauty of having identities and having detachment even in relationship. And in psychology, that is called secured attachment, where you are not scared of losing the person, and then you are not avoidant. So you don't have an unsecured attachment or an avoidant attachment. So you're just secured, and that's beautiful.
Makes sense.
Well, I think I would like
Dr.
to...
Sunday, Dr. Sunday gives Pastor Bosse the freedom to be herself, to do you, fulfill your calling, and the same thing vice versa.
Pastor Bosse also gives him
that you do
and
be
it's,
you,
and it's beautiful for them.
and it's beautiful. Just fulfill what God wants you to do. That's fine. But to get more, you can listen to Pastor Bosse. I heard we have callers actually.
Okay.
So let's receive the callers. Let's hear their thoughts, their opinions about today's discussion. And if you just joined us, you came right at the point where we're about to end. But hey, you can share this video. If you share the video, you could save that video on your timeline. You could come back to watch the video later. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you could also save this video. You could like the video on YouTube. And if you've not subscribed to Dr. Sunday's YouTube page, you could hit the subscribe button and also click on the notification bell for you to get notified when Dr. Sunday uploads his videos. All right, so we're going to receive our callers right now to get their contribution. So if you are interested in contributing, like I've been announcing, you could write to us, Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. Good afternoon, dear caller from Kyiv, Ukraine. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, my name is Adiola from Baltimore, Maryland.
Mrs. Adiola. It's so good to hear from you, ma. How are you doing?
To you guys.
Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm happy to see Dr. Anu and Dr. Victor after so.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Break.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You guys are doing great, and it's quite commendable that is a lot of revolution now that I'm seeing. A refined Dr. Anu, you know, all these 52 days counting, I've noticed something different from the version I used to do. Like we made jest of Dr. Anu, I've seen a great revelation in the way you, and I think it's worth commenting.
Thank you.
Good job to you guys. Dr. Victor, well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is going to be my first time of commenting and calling in the program. Wow. Most of the time I take my back seat and watch, trying to, get the best out of each program. Yeah. But when you were answering the last question, talking about DSA reaching out to people, I have an experience regards to that.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? After the last HMT that I was able to attend,
Yes.
there was a time I was a bit, and I was just home with my children. I have a lot of books that I got from DSA. They just got delivered, and I told my girl, my first daughter, Emmanuel, I said, look, which of them do you like you want to read?
Yeah. What?
Play she took one of them and she took How to Live an Effective Life, and she started reading. So one of the days they were off, they have a break what you've been reading all the while. But prior to that, I showed her a video where Pastor Sunday did with his children, especially Perez. And Perez.
Hello, Mrs. Adiola. Hello. I think we lost her. Wow, we're going to call you back, yeah, because you want to share your testimony. And I think it will be great for us to hear that testimony. So please let's hang up and let's call her back to hear from her. That is Ms. Adiola. She was here for the not this HMT, but I think the HMT before this one. And she's a hero. She came here pregnant all the way from Baltimore, US. She blew our mind. We could see that she really was desirous to come here and to receive the lesson. So I don't know if we have her back already.
Yeah.
All right. So we lost
Hello.
you. We lost you at the point where you were talking about Perez.
Yeah. So Dr. Sunday's girl was saying that. Let me just quickly go to that story. And we both watched, and I saw the reaction of my daughter's face. She was wow that at that age, she's doing something amazing like that. And my girl, I think she just turned 9 this year. So last year was when we watched the video, and I challenged her that she too can do something. So with those books, she just stand in the front of, I just like play. And I did a recording for her, sharing all what she learned from the book, How to Live an Effective Life. And she did not really do well. She likes talking, and because of what I've learned from Dr. Sunday, that when you begin to study your children, you begin to know their strength, and you can tell what they're going to become, or where their strength lies. So when I saw that she can talk, she can go on talking, I said, okay, come and do this, come and just like play. She did the first recording, and it was like she didn't really do well. She was not impressing. And do you know what I told her? I said, this is going to be sent to everybody in the world. I don't know that, as jokingly as I did that, it sent a message to her that she just got annoyed. She was not happy. She now went inside, went to try again. And then when I was saying, I'm done, I'm not ready again, she just talked to the dad. And the dad just left her alone, just put the camera in front of her and everybody left her. And she just started talking. And from nowhere, I just shared the video with my friends in my group and some of the people that were in the same HMT group. And by 1 hour, somehow, it got to Dr. Sunday. And the first thing, I just got a message from Dr. Sunday that he just watched a small video that my daughter did, and that if I don't mind, he's going to put that video on his YouTube official page as one of video that will be, and that was just it. And if you have ever watched the recent an amazing 8-year-old,
an amazing 8-year-old. What's the title of the video? Because I watched the video myself. I don't know if you're still there. Yeah, Miss Adiola, sorry, we lost your voice.
Life is.
Hello, Miss Adiola. Sorry, we lost you. Because your voice was breaking. Yeah. Can you please repeat the title of the video again for our viewers to be able to search for it on Dr. Sunday's channel?
Okay.
What's the title?
An amazing 8 years old. Life, yes. Life is predictable.
Okay.
Life is predictable. Discuss life is predictable.
Okay, so I think
So,
it has an amazing 8-year-old girl, right?
yes.
Something like that. Okay, so
Yes, an amazing 8-year-old girl
uh-huh.
discussing life is predictable.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And do you know the yeah, back to school. She was in third. She's a third grader. She
Yes.
got back to school and she just and they asked her like, "How did you spend your weekend?" And she just mentioned that she had a video, and some of her friends in school went to check that video.
Yes.
And I told her your life meaning, having meaning. I've been able through that small experience, Dr. Sunday.
Wow. Our voice is breaking.
Has been able to expose.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're having some internet connection. All right. Wow.
Yes.
So, but I think I don't know. Were you able to hear the testimony
Yes.
from Mr. Adiola? It's a fantastic testimony, and I think she shared a testimony on the premise of on the question of attention.
Attention.
Can you imagine an 8-year-old girl, just young girl? She went online, had a video, and a video caught Dr. Sunday's attention, and Dr. Sunday had to write the mother saying, "Hey, I just watched a video of your daughter, and I need your daughter's video. I need to put it out there." And I watched the video myself. The video is on Dr. Sunday's YouTube page. It's also on his blog. Imagine 8-year-old girl. And if you watch that video, you'll be impressed. An 8-year-old girl, amazing 8-year-old girl. And you can check for the video on Dr. Sunday's platform, YouTube. I think it has an amazing 8-year-old girl sharing or discussing something. So if you search for it on Dr. Sunday's channel, you'll be able to find it. And yes, I think this is a very beautiful testimony from, if a young 8-year-old girl can do it, then I think all this behavior that we have here must be useful. We have another caller, right? So let's get the next caller. It's so sad that we couldn't hear all of Mrs. Adiola's contribution.
It was good to hear from her. Due
to the connection, but I think what she shared already is a worthy testimony. It's a worthy testimony, and it's an encouragement to all our viewers who are watching. Yeah, if an 8-year-old girl can do it, then we can. We can set ourselves on fire, and we can get the attention of not just Dr. Sunday, but we can get the attention of the world. Beautiful. We have another caller right now. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, hello, Dr. Anu.
Pastor Tuka with a distinct voice.
Well, it's a blessing, being part of your show. You are doing wonderfully well.
Thank you.
Yes. So I joined the discussion pretty late, but I had to share because of the part that I joined.
Yeah.
We all know that Pastor Sunday is a person that loves people. And one thing about Pastor Sunday that, he doesn't pass by anybody.
Very true.
Most especially, if you have something that attracts his attention, if you are doing something big for God, just like you said, Pastor Sunday cannot pass you by.
Yeah.
I say that to say that if there is one person that is easy to access, is DSA.
Yeah.
Unlike our pastors and our GOs and our prophets, to start with, you don't even know how to get them.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to reach them. And you don't even know whether you will be accepted. But it's not like that with this DSA. You can always access DSA. When I started listening to DSA, I have that curiosity that I wanted to see this man.
Yeah.
And that was what brought me to Ukraine. I came to Ukraine, signed up for HMT. And, even when the HMT is not going on, you can also, apply to visit visit Pastor Sunday Adelaja.
Yeah.
You know, that provision is there. And I bet you, DSA, accommodates. I got to the HMT and I get to see DSA, and it is so true. All these things that we are hearing about him. In fact, DSA will give you a personal time in his master in his living room. He will give you one-on-one time with him.
You are giving people part of the package of agents that we don't announce. Because we don't announce that. We don't say that. There are people who come here, they have one-on-one time. But, well, it's okay. It's okay.
Yes. So, no, Pastor Sunday is a person that, likes people to shine.
Yeah.
Jesus said, follow me and I will make you fishers of men.
True.
And you hear Pastor Sunday always, in his broadcast telling, challenging people to follow him. And then, let them see whether their life will not change. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Because DSA has the eagle's eye. He can see your ability.
Yeah.
He can see your potential.
Yes.
And then he does everything to let you shine. Not to shine for himself, but to shine for you. He does everything to challenge you, to encourage you to be who you need to be. I have a platform today, my Facebook platform today, thanks to DSA. I couldn't have known that I could have a platform from anywhere.
Yeah.
I work with people. I serve people. But I tell you, nobody will give you the privilege that DSA can give you to be who you need to be, to shine, to become, a person, to become a personality for God.
Yeah.
So I say that to say that, DSA is easily accessible. There is no doubt about that. Anybody that wishes to meet with DSA, you can always do that. Just, write him. I've written DSA a couple of times, on his Facebook Messenger. And DSA will always respond to my write-up.
Yeah.
Even though he's as busy as anything, he still finds time, to consider your thoughts, your ideas, to your questions, your problems. So, DSA is a great man. I wish everybody, could be like as he is.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you to all of you, Dr. Victor. You are also like the same. I know all of you are accessible. And I want to say that when I grow up, I would like to be like you.
How would you end?
That's the humility we need to still learn from Pastor Tuka. The ability to still come down to our level and make us feel special. Thank you so much. The lesson is well taken.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
All right.
Amazing.
Such a humble man.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? Well, I don't know, do we still have other colors? All right, so that's Pastor Tuka. If you're not following him on Facebook, I want to encourage you to please go search for Pastor Tuka. His name actually is Tuka Baribo on Facebook. He's been having a series of teachings. He's one of those people that I think they are worth listening to. And like he said, he would not have even thought that he could start a platform, impacting people beyond his local church and impacting people in everywhere in the world, in Africa, Europe, people listening, people learning from him. Yeah, that's one of many benefits that you get by interacting with Dr. Sunday, not just personally, but interacting with his books, interacting with his videos. Yeah, it brings out the best in you. And like what Pastor Tuka said, he said Dr. Sunday has that eagle eye, to look for that treasure in you. And that's one thing that really baffles me. I'm not as baffled as I was when I came initially. Right now, it's not so much about being baffled, but it's more of me seeing a model that I can learn from. So that's what Dr. Sunday is, as a model that I can learn from, and I can see, oh, this is how you treat people, no matter how bad the person may think he is, no matter how deficient you might think you are. Dr. Sunday will find that thing, one thing in you, and he will elevate it in such a way that every other thing that you perceive to be a deficiency, he doesn't even notice that, he doesn't even see it. He elevates that one thing in you, and he brings out that gold in you. Well, that's Dr. Sunday, and we're learning from him. Anyone who really wants to learn, I think these past days, right, in the month of May, I think it has been a concentrated one. As a matter of fact, there is no other playlist on Dr. Sunday's platform on YouTube that has this concentration, talking about different areas and different principles on different sides. And I mean, if you have missed any episode, I want to please plead with you that please go to Sunday Adelaja on YouTube. That is Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Search for the playlist The Man DSA, and just sit down and listen to those videos. You will learn a lot from Dr. Sunday's life. You will learn, and this is not him just saying it, but these are testimonies from people who took their time to study, to do their research, to bring out points, to bring out principles, values, lessons from Dr. Sunday's life. Many people brought out videos to potentiate their points. I mean, I think it is a lifetime opportunity for us to learn, for us to make our lives better. And I want to appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being with us today on this special Ask Dr. Sunday show. And I want to give my appreciation to my brother too, Bamisaye Victor. Thank you so much for being with me.
It's been my utmost pleasure.
Thank you so much. And for our viewers who are watching us right now, thank you. If you've not shared this link, please kindly share. We'll be back by 7 p.m. Kyiv time, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, 5 p.m. UK time for another program today. I want to say this. Today's program is going to be on DSA's attitude to women. And I want to give this personal invitation to everyone who is watching right now. Please make sure you don't miss it. Please make sure you invite everyone possible, both men and women. I know it's going to be a very interesting time, and I would like you to be there, and it'll be great if you can invite your friends. It's going to be 7 p.m. Kyiv time, 5 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. DSA's attitude to women. I think it will be a great time. Thank you for being with us, and I will see in 2 weeks for the Ask Dr. Sunday show. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.